off your head. Return of the Nephilim. Return of the Nephilim. He's a barbaric bloke. Beats all you ever seen, but he ain't no joke. He's the Nephilim. OCO. I hope everyone has been having a good day today. Now I should be saying, hey, I hope you're having a good evening. Or are you having a good time in the Twilight Zone? But anyway. I haven't been on here for a little bit, on this channel. I, get busy and I have my other channel and, and plus, not to mention I stay in a lot of pain, but that ain't nothing unusual, Hey, I'm an old coot, right? All right. But anyway, I have some things would like to talk to everybody with. I'll get it straight. I'll get it out of the horse's mouth here. All right. I wanted to discuss some things with y'all. We have a very crazy world we live in, and it's very troubling. And not to mention, we have other troubling events and things that's going on in the world. Some things are explainable, some things are not explainable. It can be quite obvious when there's something going on, who's at fault, who did what did what, and on and on and on and on. But anyway, I wanted to first, talk just a little bit before we go on to other things, just a little bit on the giants, or you would refer to as the Nephilim. Okay. Now, I know that everyone's got opinions, and thoughts and beliefs. So, before we get into anything, let me ask you a question. Do you believe there was such things as giants? And I'm talking about real giants. I'm not talking about, someone who's just 7 foot tall. No. I mean, we make reference to, boy, that's a giant, those guys in the basketball NBA, and all that. We say, that's a giant. Or like Andre the Giant, remember him, that wrestler? And on, However, the question lies, do you really believe that there were giants? All right. Like we're talking about these Nephilim that would stand anywhere from 8 to 10, 15, 20. Some was even known to be 30 feet in height. But do you believe? All right. And do you believe that these giants exist today? Is there evidence of these giants existing today? Is there evidence that giants did exist? And will the giants, the Nephilim, be in days ahead? When that is precisely, I cannot say. But do you believe that they will make an appearance again? And I mean to make an appearance. And let me just say, the Nephilim were not bulky, as in slow. and couldn't run fast and stuff like you see in movies and stuff. Yeah, they could run, and they weren't slow about anything. But all right, here is something that is from a short I want to let you listen to, and then we'll go on just a little bit on the Nephilim. Then we'll go on to other subjects and things. All right, here we go.
What if the USA went to war with Iraq back in the day to get Nephilim DNA? Listen to this. Listen to this email sent to government officials on the Freedom of Information Act website, requesting documents pertaining to the resurrection chamber of Gilgamesh, the location of his body, and the location of the buried Nephilim. That was sent on December 13th, 2018, and the status of that email is closed. We also have testimonies from museum curators saying that the very first place that the United States military went when they invaded Iraq was to museums within the heart of ancient Babylon. This may be one reason why the CIA is investing so much money recently into DNA editing firms, so that when they get remains or artifacts with Nephilim DNA, they can actually extract them and resurrect them back to life like they're trying to do now with extinct animals. Look, nothing surprises me anymore. Comment your thoughts on this, follow for more.
Now, would like your thoughts on that. What did you think about that? Do you believe it? Well, yeah, I would say I believe it. Okay, I mean, there's too much strange stuff going on with the governments around the world, our government, uh, other governments and stuff. I mean, that's just the way it is. They they always like to hide things, and if things starts coming out in the open, they have to have a way to cover themselves. To make themselves look good, and they will only share just a little of the truth, and they'll say, well, that's only partly true, and the rest of it's just exaggerated and what have you. That's just the way it is. And we get all kinds of stuff like this with the government. All right. But yeah, I see that the Nephilim will be making grand appearances. I mean, already the governments with the scientists, and all this kind of stuff, backing these scientists, doing DNA research and all this in genetics, etc. You know, uh, Someone talks about the soldiers. Yeah. See, I'm trying to watch certain words that I say because they got that AI thing. I I thing. Yeah, they have that. So and other stuff. So I don't like the idea of them pulling down videos. It's a big hassle, with them. And nowadays you don't have the freedom of speech like you used to. Mm-mm. You used to could share your opinion whether someone agreed or not, and that was about. If they disagreed, they disagreed, and that was about it. And there was no big ruckus. But now, yeah. But anyway, with the Nephilim, all right, I see with their experiments, that's one of the reasons why the explains why the bones of these giants of these Nephilim disappeared. I mean, they had photo evidence of them, and then the Smithsonian comes in, takes them, and then all of a sudden they disappear. So you got stuff like that, big cover-ups all the way around. But yes, Nephilim existed, and in some areas they still exist alive. and but well hidden. They're not dumb. Then plus the experiments and stuff, well, where they'll bring them back. So I mean, yeah, one day we'll see them, and we do live in troubling times, very troubling times. All kinds of events and things are going on in the world. All right, now hold on just a second here. Bear with me. Now I'd like to go in to something that I wanted to talk about. Now, again, some of y'all who agree or disagree, whatever, please share your thoughts down below. And yeah, hit the like button if you like what this channel, if you like the videos, the live streams, etc., etc. Just hit the like button. And if you would like to, just go ahead and hit that subscribe. I'm just a fella that likes to be just straight up and forward, just like the channel name. And I am Marty Warhorse. I am your host. And I say welcome, and I say wado. Thank you for all you subscribers. This is still relatively somewhat of a new channel, and small still. But I'm not looking for having a huge following. I wouldn't be able to keep up with it. So, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Just share your thoughts. You agree, you disagree, but always keep it civil, okay? If it's not civil, I will remove the comments. But if it's civil, it'll stay. Because everyone's got a right to share their thoughts and opinions, but you ain't got to be rude, and you don't have to be mean, and you don't have to be filthy mouthed. All right. All right. So now, one thing that's interesting with everything that's been going on, all right, is we see where this country, what it used to be, everything that we had, the freedoms of choice, and where you could live and all this. I mean, all of what we had is gone. And now what you see is insanity is the rule. There's nothing sane about what's been going on today. It's just insane. That's just straight up, all right? And now you can agree with that or not, but it's the facts. Now, I want to tell you right up and right out here now, I don't agree with, and I do not have a liking for all this woke uh, stuff going on, and then trying to define what hate speech is, them trying to define what is misinformation and all this other stuff, that they're doing, and trying to redefine the English language, and on and on. You know what they're doing. You've heard it, and you've probably seen it, just about all of it, and it's just insane. And we sit there and wonder what's going on. Well, I'll tell you something. We'll cover some of the things about what's going on, and maybe not, but maybe this stream here, this will be taken down. because somebody don't like it, like the YouTube police. Yeah, tell you what, they're just insane. This world is crazy, and when you hear the word democratic or democracy, see, we know what it originally the word democracy meant, but it don't mean what it used to mean anymore. It is more thrown around freely among communists, socialists. They're all in a handbasket. They're the same. You say communist or you say socialist, it's both the same thing. They're just little slight variants, but they're one's a little one step lower than the other. Communists being the full blown Marxist, end of the world type idiots. But anyway, now everyone has heard of IOC. Yeah. Now, now here, that's a person who doesn't know the difference between freedom. She doesn't know the difference between communism and a constitutional republic. She don't have the idea whatsoever even of where she's at half the time. Kind of like Creepy Joe. Oh yeah. So I want you to listen to this, all right, and share your thoughts on it. Now this was, I guess it was a month ago or so. Like I said, because I haven't been on here very much. I've been busy with a lot of things and what have you. But listen to this.
Candidate Kristen Gonzalez is promising a socialist wave of candidates after her primary win for New York State Senate.
We really proved that socialism wins.
Oh man, socialism wins. That's just a baby. Don't have no. That's a kid. That ain't a full-grown adult. Looks like an adult, but I'm telling you, that kid there don't have no sense. You ever notice they're turning everything over to college kids who think because they are in college that they know everything and they know all there is about politics and everything else. Heck, they don't even know the difference between a man and a woman. They really don't. They don't even know the difference between a human being and an animal. But anyway, you catch my drift. Oh man, that young lady is insane.
Anywhere. We are not going anywhere, and we will not stop until we see a socialist slate across this city.
And that's what they want across the whole country. And you know what, folks? The very sad thing is they're winning. They're winning. This is bad things that are happening. We have things like this going on. And yet, those who disagree with this kind of stuff, those who value freedom and what America was founded on, all right, now sit back and allow this stuff to go on. They do nothing. And I really can't blame people nowadays who decide they're not going to vote anymore because their vote means nothing. And if you think about it, that's the truth. I mean, with all this crap going on, election rigging and whatever else, doesn't matter what party is what, because I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. Hey, I'm for America, okay? That's what I'm for. I'm for America. I'm for this country being under the beautiful great one, the creator, God. One nation under God. But now you'd think we got many nations over here. And they're all insane. By evidence, not by spreading any kind of thing that sounds like hate. That's the problem. I see a lot of people that's either Democrat or Republican go at it head to toe, and a lot of them, and I'm not talking necessarily officials, but people, everyday people, going fist to cuffs. And then you get all kinds of violence and stuff in the streets and what have you. All right, but the thing is, some of them that will claim to be Christian, and they think like with, for example, I'm just using this as an example. Someone may say they're a Republican, and a Republican is Christian. Let me tell you something. I'm for what the beautiful great one, what he is for, and I am against what he's against. And he's not Republican, and he's not Democrat. Okay? Just understand that. He's not like us. And I think that we should strive to be more like him. You catching my drift? But I mean, here we got these people carrying on like this. It's sad.
Our next guest escaped socialism in Venezuela and survived Mao's
Now you
communist
gotta listen
revolution
to
in
this.
China. Daniel DiMartino and Xi Van Fleet join us now with their message for America. Xi, I'm going to start with you. These are young people who are touting socialism. Socialism wins. Tell us what it really means to live in an authoritarian state like that.
Yeah, I just want to say it's so ironic. 36 years ago, I ran away from socialism. When I left China, come to this great country for freedom. Today, so many Americans abandoning freedom and ran into socialism. They have no idea what socialism is about. I lived under Mao's socialism. When the government controls everything, make all the decisions, big and small. It decides how much grain, meat, cooking oil I could have, what I should learn in school, where I should live, and what job I should have, and how I should think. In the socialist society I lived under, there's no choices, there's no freedom.
She's right. And and you get these nutcases out here spinning their wheels. So they're touting this crap about socialism being great, and it's going to, like that young lady and all that, And you even got some of them spouting, the same for communism, for Marxism. I'll tell you this one truth. As long as we sit back and do nothing, I'm going to tell you, then we need to shut our yaps, not complain anymore, because it's our own fault. Yeah, I said it. I'm just being straight up. You don't have to agree with me, but it's our own fault. We sit there and we allow this kind of garbage to take place, to come in. We were complacent, and we're still complacent. Some of us are starting to wake up, right? But see, this country was called the United States of America. But that's not really the case. It is the divided states of America. It's us versus them type thing. And there's more of them than there are us. And that's our fault. If we would have been on top of it way back when, then this stuff wouldn't be happening. At least not in our day, today, right? This is not the country my father and mother and their parents and theirs before them. This is not the same country that they grew up in. And it's not the same country I grew up in. Now, a lot they call the millennials, and you hear this stuff, Generation Z, and all this. I tell you what, a bunch of dang fools, idiots, crazy. I mean, if someone does something insane, stupid, whether it's me or anyone else, then the person has the right saying that's stupid, that's insane. You know, nowadays you can't tell a person that they did wrong. You get in trouble. You can't tell a person that doesn't know that they're man or female who they are or what they are, right? You get in trouble. I mean, these days it's anything goes. And they make up stuff as they go on. It's insanity. And a lot of them, I guarantee you, well, the way I see it, I think a lot of them escaped from the loony bin. Or some of them even maybe raised up in it from a little kid up or something. I don't know. But I mean, that's what you can't help but thinking for what you're seeing, because it ain't normal. It ain't sane. I mean, it's just crazy. I mean, you have to excuse me. I got an itch. Got a scratch. No, I didn't say I was Scratch. I didn't. Scratch runs the country. And they're going to throw that one out, and eventually, pretty soon, throw that one under the bus, and they're going to put the VP in, right? When that happens, run for the hills. Literally, run for the hills. But anyway, I'm going to go and let this lady talk. And you listen to what she's saying. These two people, this woman and the young man, had lived in a socialist, in communist countries. And what she's saying is true. But all these people want, these idiots like that young lady wants that crap here. They've been brainwashed. This is what it's all about in the schools. What they're doing is brainwashing, forcing stuff down the kids' throat without the parents knowing about it. And eventually you're going to see where they're going to be. Or some of them's probably already doing it now in this country, teaching. They'll end up teaching your kids to spy on you. And if they do, they'll get good rewards. Spoil them rotten and twist their brains in order to get what they want, and then once they get it, they'll end up turning on those very kids. That's what socialism and communism is. I mean, it's just insanity, right? There's nothing logical in it. But they try to like Marx, fella, he in his day he tried to smooth it over, and yet if you really hear and read a lot of his stuff, I won't tell you, the man was insane. And his buddy that helped him with it was insane too. Because it was like a contradiction. But I get beside myself here. I apologize. Let's go on with this.
And that's what people do not know. Socialism becomes such a diluted word, and it's intentional. I can tell you, China is a socialist country, Cuba is a socialist country, and so is North Korea. They are socialist country run by communist parties. And what's the difference? What's the difference between socialism and communism? Not much. Socialism is the initial stage of communism, according to Karl Marx.
Yeah, you're so right. Thank you for reminding us about that. Daniel, tell us about your experience living under socialism in Venezuela.
Now, you see what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Now, listen to this young man. Listen to this young man. And believe me, people need to be paying attention. And if there's anyone who's for socialism, who just happens upon this channel, you need to listen to this because you need to wake up.
Well, I think my experience should scare Americans because I used to have a middle-class family life like most of the people watching did and do. And we went from having cars, from having a home, from going to school every day, to not having electricity, to me having to line up for food, to the government telling me which day of the week I could go to the grocery store. That is what socialism did to Venezuela. And the voters don't understand that in New York, and that's why Kristen Gonzalez won. But the scary part is that she does know what she's supporting. In fact, the organization that supports her, the New York City Democratic Socialists of America, sponsored an event in New York City that I attended to protest because they brought 3 people who work for the Maduro regime to advocate against U.S. sanctions to these corrupt members of the regime that oppresses my nation. So these people claim that they want to turn America into Denmark, but then they meet with Venezuela's dictator, not with the Danish prime minister. So I think that should tell you everything you need to know about who they are.
Yeah, it is very interesting. These young people certainly don't know what you're saying. I think we all got a little taste of socialism and authoritarianism during the pandemic, but seeing these young women take these prominent positions is a little bit scary for our future here in this country, and we're really grateful to people like you who give us a very clear picture.
I agree. Now, this is sad. I mean, it's a sad thing that this country has gone the way of socialism and communism. You know, it's just you keep hoping that you wake up and find out it was just all a bad dream. You know, just a nightmare, and that you'd be back into good old America, the good old USA, like it used to once be, or once was. But now, I can't even recognize it anymore. It's sad. But that's the way this country is. And I think we're at fault. Those of us who love freedom, everything, we're at fault. I mean, look what they're allowing in the military now, how they're running it. You honestly sit there and think now foreign countries come over, which they are and will come here bringing war to this country, not just somewhere else, but here. And do you honestly think that we will win? You need to wake up and take a look at what's in our military. And there's a lot of military personnel that has been booted out or decided they're getting out on their own because they don't like this crap. They don't agree with it. Yeah. So, but there's still some men and women in the military that are good, decent people. They love this country. They love freedom. They love everything that this country once stood for. They have that ideology. If I get that word kind of gets tangled up on my tongue sometimes, because I have a hard time getting it around that tongue. Almost sounds like I'm speaking in tongues. But anyway, um, and no, I'm not trying to make fun of churches or anything. I'm not making fun of them. No, it's yeah. I just thought I'd say that. All right, I'm just throwing it because I strongly believe in the great one, the beautiful great one, the Creator, God, Yeshua. Yeah. All right, but anyway, I want you to listen to this. You got to hear this. All right. Some of you have seen this, maybe. Maybe some of you haven't, but all right, I'm gonna bring it up.
You said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy, as well as non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
Oh, hey, I have to say it. Come on. She just opened her mouth. And this is a person supposed to be like a professor, like yeah, well, oh my goodness. See, that is against science, it's against biology. Everything that she is saying is against the truth. And you give the truth to people like this, and they will call you prejudiced, they will call you racist, sexist, or transphobic, you name it. You heard all the stuff there. But they can call me whatever they want. Because see, it don't matter who you are and what you do and what you believe in. They don't even know really, truly, for sure what they believe in. They just go along with the flow. Let's not make wave on everybody. Let's just go along with it. Let's go with the flow. Don't go against it. This is the way they are. Yeah, crazy. They don't even know what the word racism truly means. They use it too careless. They have no idea what they're saying. But this is an idiot. It's just outright an idiot. How this person ever got in the educational system, I have no idea. But these are the kind of people that brainwash your children, our children. I'm glad my kids are grown now. Because I tell you what, if they were still little and everything, I'd pull them out of school and I'd have them in either in a private school, and if I couldn't afford that, I'd just have them, have them homeschooled. You know, this is crazy. See, and the government wants control of your children, and they want to do it with these idiots to make your kids stupid and compliant. And guess what? They're winning. And there's some that speak out, but the majority sits back and lets it happen. Let's sit back and watch the fireworks, y'all. I just love this American fireworks. Yeah. All right, let's go on and listen to this idiot talk. Just listen to this nutcase. You can't call it sane, but she's talking like she knows what she's talking about. And I love what the senator said. It's like you could read his thoughts on things and what he's saying that you're not hearing. It's like his thoughts are being put out there loudly. I mean, who wouldn't? I mean, and yeah. All right. I'll shut up. Here she goes. Well, I think okay.
This
There we
isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can
it's
recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up.
Oh, you heard that right? You heard that? Transphobic. That's their answer for everything. You're transphobic. Bunch of fools. That one's a big fool, an idiot. I mean, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. Not sorry for that. She is an idiot, and anyone who spouts that kind of rhetoric is an idiot because they don't use common sense. You know, it's oh, all right, yeah.
Trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
Because of my line of questioning?
Because-
So we can't talk about it?
because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm
is
denying that
dangerous.
trans people exist by
Are
asking
you?
you if you're
Are
talking
you?
about women
Are you?
having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't think women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence?
See?
Is this how you run your classroom?
Idiot.
Are students allowed to question you? Or are
Absolutely.
they also treated like this, where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to
Oh,
violence?
we have a good
by
time in my
questioning?
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Oh, learn a lot. No, thank you. Probably get sick. Yeah. Cuckoo. Big L. LOSER. Yeah. See, this one right here, she's cuckoo, crazy. You know, I don't even see how she even got to where she's at. Probably kiss a lot of butt. Butt kisser.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know,
exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
My piece. I think you understand where I'm coming from. General Miller, let me come to you. Can you help me with something here? Anderson Air Force Base, I understand. This is in Guam, of course. Leaders there recently received an official email that prohibited them from using pronouns or descriptors like he, she, youngest, oldest, male, or female. Why is that? I mean, what's going on?
Senator Hawley, thank you for that question. Actually, that is, we've been talking a lot about that because it was an email, from my understanding, that went out locally from one of the commanders there, and I don't remember at what level. I don't know if it was a group commander or the wing commander there. I believe that it was a Facebook post that went out based on a question. It is not the Air Force policy to not use pronouns. And so I think it was a social media, exacerbated by individuals that said that they were directed for that.
Okay, good. Well, I think that's progress. So you're saying, I'm looking at a news article here published August 31, 2022, saying that PACAF has sent this letter around. Leaders of the base are instructed, do not use pronouns, age, race, etc. And they go on. The unauthorized examples of unauthorized language are male, female, youngest, oldest, he, she. But you're saying that was not an official communication. That has not been a directive.
That is not an official communication from the HAF. Correct.
Okay. And so your position to me is today that is not policy and that they have not been so instructed.
That is
that
correct.
This is
That
a social
is not
media
policy.
kerfuffle. I mean, this is not real. It's not happening.
I don't know if it's not happening, but it is not an official policy from the Department of the Air Force.
Okay.
She don't know if it's not happening. That's funny. Other military high-ranking officials say that it is, but it's insane, isn't it? It's just crazy, all the way insanity.
I ask because part of the way it's been reported is that the rationale is to help with lethality and also recruiting. And it was curious as heck how not using he, she can help with lethality and how it's helping with recruiting. But I take your word for it that this is not policy, and that satisfies me. So thank you. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks to all of the witnesses for being here. Before I want to visit with you, Ms. Meskey, but before I do, I just want to clear one thing up. Professor Bridges, you said several times, you've used a phrase, I want to make sure I understand what you mean by it. You've referred to people with a capacity for pregnancy. Would that be women?
Many women, cis women, have the capacity for pregnancy. Many cis women do not have the capacity for pregnancy. There are also trans men who are capable of pregnancy as well.
See? Insanity. That men are capable of getting pregnant. It ain't happening, Captain. It ain't going to happen, Captain. No, 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 no. Have you ever seen a male dog give birth? Have you ever seen have you seen a male bird lay an egg? Let's see. Have you ever seen a male whale give birth? Have you ever seen and heard of a male giraffe, a lion, any kind of cat, etc.? Have you ever seen them give birth? I don't think so. This lady is a professor, and it's like, are you kidding me? She's insane. She's not. Oh, there she's cuckoo.
As non-binary people who are capable of pregnancy.
So this isn't really a women's rights issue.
We can recognize that this impacts women while also recognizing that it impacts other groups. Those things are not mutually exclusive, Senator Hawley.
Oh, so your view is that the core of this right then is about what?
So I want to recognize that your line of questioning is transphobic, and it opens up trans people to violence by not recognizing them.
Wow, you're saying that I'm opening up people to violence by asking whether or not women are the folks who can have pregnancies?
So I want to note that 1 out of 5 transgender persons have attempted suicide. So I think it's important
because of my line of questioning? So we can't talk about it?
Because denying that trans people exist and pretending not to know that they exist.
I'm denying that trans people exist by asking you if you're talking about women having pregnancies?
Do you believe that men can get pregnant?
No, I don't believe women can get
So you are
pregnant.
denying that trans people exist?
And that leads to violence? Is this how you run your classroom? Are students allowed to question you, or are they also treated like this?
Oh, absolutely. They're allowed to question. They're allowed to question, but when they, to get the question out, but how long do they remain in the class without getting some kind of punishment? Yeah, you're not allowed to think except the way they think. That's the way it is. That's the insanity of this whole country currently. And here's the sad news. It is not going to be, or it's not going to be any better. It's not going to get better. It's going to get worse. Because we sit back and we do nothing. We allow it to go on. We make our complaints, to one another, but we, and to ourselves about this, but we do nothing. Now, if we was to go back in time and you take some of these fools with you, going back to like the 1700s, maybe early mid 1800s and so, you think they would last very long? That kind of crap? Those people would be either put in a nut house some of them would be hung or executed, pending, you know, all this kind of stuff, depending where, when, and how, and all that. But as if they went back in time, in those time periods, right? They wouldn't allow this kind of stuff in the first place. It would never, if we would have hung on to those values strongly, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. But when you kick, but the first foremost mistake everyone made is that they allowed them kicking the Creator, the beautiful, great one, God, out of schools, took prayer out. They even used to have where, you'd read the Bible, the book of heaven, right? And there, they had the Pledge of Allegiance. And in that pledge, it includes the beautiful, great one. That's right. It includes him. But just look at it, when you take away godly values, good, godly, moral values, you throw that out, what do you got? What we have right now. It's insane. This stuff here, this stuff right here is crazy, insane.
This where
No,
they're
they're
told
allowed
that
to
they're
question.
opening up people to violence.
We have a good
by
time in my
questioning.
class. You should join.
I bet.
You might learn a lot.
Wow, I would learn a lot. I've learned a lot
I
just in this
know,
exchange.
absolutely.
Extraordinary.
Yep.
Ms. Matsky, let me ask you something. So you provide health care to women free of charge, right? Is that right?
Absolutely.
You've done this for many years.
Yep.
You have licensed medical professionals at your pregnancy care centers. Is that right?
That is correct.
And what are some of the resources that you provide for women who come to you in a time of need?
So-
just give us you talked about it in your written testimony, but just give us a sense of it.
So we have 3 OBGYN doctors, 5 registered nurses, nurse practitioners, physician assistants, phlebotomists, medical assistants, and we provide prenatal care, OBGYN care. We provide pregnancy tests, ultrasounds, well woman visits, breast exams. We provide a wide range of medical services. Yes.
So what do you think about the DC politicians now saying that your clinic and the other 3,000 pregnancy care centers around this country are fake medical clinics? For instance, Senator Warren has said it's now more important than ever to crack down on so-called crisis pregnancy centers that mislead and deceive patients. Senator Menendez, crisis pregnancy centers jeopardize women's health and well-being, all while elevating unproven theories about birth control. Senator Warner wrote to Google asking them to censor search results for care centers like yours, saying directing women to fake clinics that traffic in misinformation is dangerous to women's health and undermines the integrity of Google's search results. Do you run a fake clinic? I mean, is that what's happening here? You don't provide actual medical care to actual women?
We absolutely do not run a fake clinic, and we have a full medical staff. Like I said, many of our medical professionals have experienced abortion for themselves, including our OBGYN doctor who used to perform abortions. So our entire medical staff is there for women, whether they choose abortion and walk out the door or whether they choose life for their baby, and we support them for years after that.
Do you think there
Bravo! Bravo! All right, I'm not, there's more, but I'm going to pull that out. But, I mean, it goes to show you the problems that we're facing. I mean, you got more people wanting for abortion, and they would soon burn your house down, burn and kill your children, and no matter how old your children are. You know, they want to kill you because you're for life. You know, it's just sick. People want to murder innocents. Basically, what it amounts to is them sacrificing their children to the evil one. Yeah. I mean, look at this stuff that they're allowing now. Baphomet statues and stuff where they have little children looking up at Baphomet. Those Satanists kill babies. Don't let them fool you. It's a fact, but they will sit there and lie to you and give you misinformation. Yeah, real misinformation, and they code it all up, make themselves look so good that they are so righteous and all this. No, they're not. But they're young recruits that they just recruited. The newbies have no clue what they've gotten themselves into. You know, that's bad. But I mean, I could say more on that. But we all know that this country and this world has gone insane. You got the what do they call that? The WEF. They want to with Air Schwaber, you know, and Schwaber Quabber. With wanting him, he wants to to be like Hitler. You just read about those days. You need to really do some research. You'll be surprised. See how that guy is doing what they did, the Nazis. They're doing the same thing, but he's picking it up and tweaking it, should we say? Everything there, and people are swallowing it. But let me tell you something. When they sit there and say you're going to eat bugs and you're going to enjoy it because it's good, you honestly think they're eating bugs? I don't think so. While you're eating bugs, they're eating beef and lobster and everything else, lamb, living high off the hog. If you don't believe me, huh? You got a lot to learn if you don't. But that's up to you. You can accept it or not. You can leave your comments down below. Now, see, a lot of people are on their live streams. Because we'd have some here tonight. But they're with their live streaming. A lot of people are going live stream now. But anyway, but leave your comments down below. Now, I don't claim that I know everything. And, if I made a mistake on something, on anything at any time, well, it'll let me know what it is and I'll give it real consideration, truly, you know, uh, especially if, if I get something now, like a report that I've heard and I was telling you and I heard it wrong, then you feel free to correct me on that, okay? But anyway, we have so much stuff going on. And if you're one who believes in the book of heaven, you believe in the beautiful great one, you believe in Yeshua, Jesus, and you believe what he said in his holy word, then you know all this is what we're seeing. It's the it is the last of the last days. We're experiencing all these things now. And so, as a thought, the question lies, where are you between you and him? Is it well with your soul, your heart, between you and him? Is it well? Think about it. You know, he never promised a bed of roses to people. He never promised that you wasn't going to ever have issues and problems, but he did promise he'd be with us. He'd be there. And sometimes it's easy for a person to get wrapped up in self pity with problems and things, and things look hopeless, and they don't understand that, just like a kid, when a parent is dealing with their children, all right, that child, don't understand the reasons why their parents is being the way that they are, and then they think bad of them at times. Well, that's the way people are with the beautiful great one. They blame him for something because they didn't get what they want when they wanted right then and there, no matter what it may be. And they don't understand that sometimes the answer is no. Sometimes the answer is no, not now. Not now. Didn't say that he wasn't going to do it. Sometimes the answer is not now. Then there's times, depending on, again, whatever it is, could be just outright no. It ain't going to happen. But see, the one thing is, he knows us. He knows us very well. He even knows our thoughts, and he writes all this stuff down. He keeps records. It is there. He's just. There ain't no bribing him and all this, so you can forget about that. All right. So the question is everything right between you and Mother Mary? It's not. Is everything right with you and Saint Peter? The question is everything right between you and him? Huh? Think about it. With everything that's going on and going on, we'd like to know what you think about it, especially what we covered tonight. And I could go on, but it's starting to get a little late, but I was hoping, others would be able to show up. But, you got a lot of live streamers, other channels with live streaming going on. So, I want you to know that I do care about y'all. And I'm hoping that you will consider on trying to get things right between you and the beautiful great one. I mean, cause we're with everything that's going on, it's time to pick a side. Because let's face it, the innocence is gone. So now it comes to, let's face it. Is it well? Is it good with your soul and him? So, if you like, tonight's live, please hit thumbs up. If you have a prayer request, please put it up, okay? And let us pray for one another, because we all need prayer. I need prayer. You need prayer. We all need it. We need to pray for one another. And understand this, I'm not better than you. No one's beneath me or above. I mean, I except one. One who is above me, and that's the beautiful, great one. He's the one we all answer to, and will answer it. And if you don't believe in him, well, one day that's okay, because you're going to find out you will, but it'll be too late because you're going to be kneeling before him. But with this craziness in this world and what we're seeing, what do you think about it? What's your views? What's going on? How do you feel about what we talked about tonight? So just put your comments down below. Don't be shy. I know a lot of you are shy. Um, I would love to hear from you. Uh, so you take care of yourself, and you know that I care about y'all, and you take care. And hey, take care and be cool and watch your six. Be blessed. I love you all. So, aho and wado. I wandered so aimless, life filled with sin. I wouldn't let my dear Savior in. Then Jesus came like a stranger in the night. Praise the Lord, I saw the light. I saw the light, I saw the light. No more darkness, no more night. Now I'm so happy, no sorrow in sight. Praise the Lord, I saw the